The read. Rejected by Sotto.
Isa na namang kagulat-gulat na araw sa inyong lahat. After the devastating lose of Adelaide 36ers in the hands of Perth Wildcats sa una nitong pagsabak sa NBL 2022 regular season, ay isa lang ang masasabi natin. Coach CJ Broughton needs KAYU SOTTO if they want to be successful sa kanilang kampanya sa season na ito. And given na meron ng assurance si KAYU SOTTO na almost healed na ang kanyang soreness sa kanyang tuhod na tatamo niya last week, I think it is imperative for the Adelaide 36ers to insert back KAYU SOTTO sa active roster and let him play sa first home game ng Adelaide 36ers versus Illawarra HAWKS na kung saan ito rin ang first professional game ni KAYU SOTTO. Pero ang tanong, maglalaro kaya si KAYU SOTTO versus Illawarra HAWKS? Well, yan ang ating pag-uusapan in this video at kung saan pwede makapanood ng live streaming dahil gustuhin man natin na magkaroon ng sarili nating live stream ay hindi talaga pwede dahil wala tayong broadcast rights and I hope maintindihan nyo. But rest assured na ibibigay namin ora mismo ang mga highlights ng laro, especially if KAYU SOTTO will play bukas. But before that, ay meron po tayong giveaway.
The read. Rejected by Sotto.
Unang-una ay tutukan muna natin ang injury ni KAYU SOTTO. Dahil obviously kung hindi pa fully recovered ang knee soreness ni KAYU SOTTO, ay tsak hindi pa rin makikitang maglaro si KAYU SOTTO versus Illawarra HAWKS kahit pa gustuhin ng Adelaide 36ers at ng buong coaching staff na palalaroin si KAYU SOTTO. Ay hindi talaga pwede dahil unfair naman ito sa injury ni KAYU SOTTO. Pero ano nga ba itong injury ni KAYU SOTTO and how long does it take to recover from a knee soreness? To those who want to watch the live stream, just view it in the description box below and right-click the link to watch. Well, wala naman tayong masyadong information sa injury ni KAYU SOTTO except sa post ni KAYU SOTTO sa social media na mukhang namamaga ang kanyang tuhod. As long as wala nang napunit or hindi na dislocate at walang fractures, ay wala tayong dapat ipangamba. A 1 week to 2 weeks rest is good enough to heal a minor bruise or strain sa tuhod. At mukhang mobile naman si KAYU SOTTO and his movements are not hampered by his knee injury dahil nakakadunk pa ito sa kanyang ipinapasilip na post. So it is safe to say na ready na si KAYU SOTTO for the game against Illawarra HAWKS dahil na rin sa kanyang reassuring words sa kanyang latest post sa social media na he is getting better and he will be back, sabi pa niya sa kanyang post. So it is very safe to say na okay na si KAYU SOTTO and all he needs is the green light galing sa kanyang head coach kung kailan tatawagin ang kanyang pangalan. And with the way the Adelaide 36ers played sa first game versus Perth Wildcats ay mukhang mapapadali ang pagbabalik ni KAYU SOTTO sa active roster dahil need ng team ang kanyang services. With the system of Coach CJ Broughton kasi nakasentro ang kanyang opensa sa kanyang mga big men at hindi siya nawawala ng dalawang big men sa kanyang 5 players sa loob ng basketball court. And with Humphries far from being 100%, it is imperative for Coach CJ Broughton to think again na nandyan naman si KAYU SOTTO na gustong-gusto ng maglalaro at simulan ang kanyang professional journey. Daniel Johnson and Cam Bairstow needs backup at sa ngayon ay very clear na hindi pa kaya ni Humphries and that leaves Coach CJ Broughton no other choice but to call KAYU SOTTO. And without a doubt, KAYU SOTTO will fill that void and will make the team even better. No question, Daniel Johnson and Cam Bairstow are two of the best big men ngayon sa NBL Australia and their resume will speak for it. But for God's sake, hindi naman Superman itong si Daniel Johnson to play 35 minutes a night and expect the team to win. At alam naman natin na hindi naman gaano kabataan itong si Daniel Johnson and surely pag nag-set in na ang fatigue ay maiiba talaga ang kanyang mga tira and decision making. Another thing na nakikita natin sa style ni Coach CJ Button is the fact na ayaw niyang gamitin ang lahat ng players niya or at least ilagay man lang sa active list. It was evident sa first game na 10-man lineup lang ang Adelaide 36ers, when in fact every team is allowed 12 players sa active roster every game. I understand with the injuries pero hindi ibig sabihin na champion ng Adelaide 36ers sa preseason games by playing with only 10 players ay ganyan pa rin ang gagawin niya sa regular season games where the action is faster, the pace is quicker, and the energy is higher. Dahil hindi naman natin malaman before the game kung magkaroon ng mga problema within the games like sa first game na nagkaroon ng too many fouls kaagad si Isaac Humphries that affected the rotation sa mga big men ni Coach CJ Button. Sana sa susunod na mga games ng Adelaide ay kumpletuhin na sana ng coaching staff ang kanilang 12-man roster dahil napaka-unfair naman sa ibang mga players. Coach CJ Button should be man enough to trim their line up to 12 players or else it will just mean that he has no balls of doing it. And that is not a mark of a true leader. He has to stamp his class, make use of his power, and show to the whole team that he is in charge of the situation. And please coach, iset up nyo naman ang mga shooters ng team. Huwag palaging last option na lang sina Dusty Hannes, Todd Withers, and Mojave King sa labas, naghihintay na mapasahan ni Mitch McCarron at ni Daniel Johnson galing sa ilalim. They are too skilled and talented na dapat ring bigyan ng plays. Set them up upang magagamit ang kanilang skills dahil most of the time ay para mga poste lang itong tatlo sa labas waiting for a pass. After the preseason games and the first game sa regular season, it is very clear that the Adelaide 36ers team is Daniel Johnson's team. At dito makaproblema talaga si KAYU SOTTO dahil pareho silang big man ni Daniel Johnson. And our only hope is for KAYU SOTTO and Daniel Johnson to play beautiful music together because that is the only way na nakikita nating mag-blossom ang basketball career ni KAYU SOTTO sa Adelaide 36ers. At sana mangyayari yan sa next game versus Illawarra Hawks dahil mukhang inip na si KAYU SOTTO sa bench. He is very excited and raring to prove to everyone kung gaano siya kagaling. And the Filipino basketball fans are eagerly waiting sa moment na yan. Mangyayari kaya yan bukas? Well, from all indications ay napakalaki ng possibility that KAYU SOTTO might be playing his first pro game versus Illawarra Hawks. At huwag magpahuli dahil baka magugulat na lang kayo sa mga bagong balita. At kung nagugustuhan niyo ang ating channel ay huwag kalimutang pindutin ang like and subscribe button at pati na rin ang notification bell upang updated kayo sa mga nakakagulat na balita. Salamat and see you around!
Before our eyes, and although the Adelaide 36 has come up short, they had some hard luck stories. KAYU SOTTO, look forward to seeing him, the 7'2" guy from, or 3 maybe even bigger, from the Philippines, and they've still got Sunday Dech to come back, so they need to dust themselves off and come back on Sunday situation and get the ball out of Law's hands.
First of all, take a deep breath. We talked about that. Playing out of the Bryce Cotton and pick and rolls. He's coming over the top. He's gonna reach. Make sure we're playing off the seam, right? Stay wide, stay in that cylinder, keep the floor stretched. If Dusty's on and Dusty's high, it's set that hammer screen. So on the weak side, so when we play out a weak drag, Isaac, stepping in power. Whoever, DJ, you're here, you set the flare pick. So he goes and then you got the spark down the middle of the floor. Flare pick, but stay high. You're good? No, you're in the corner. Clean it up. You said the break.
4.5 minutes to play before three-quarter time. CJ Bruton, his first game as an NBL coach. Don't go too far. The second quarter on Hungry Jack's NBL opening night is coming up next.
Throughout the pre-season, he is a walking bucket. Almost rest assured that he's going to get his numbers, but it was a slow start. Not only was it a slow start for him, but he just didn't see enough of it, didn't get enough touches. Jeffrey's in the background, the former Melbourne Tiger, doing some work with him. Imagine it, did a conversation with them.
Timeout called. It's 37.
Had the foul problems early on and spent some time on the bench, but he's played the 23 minutes, but you could see what he's capable of, and it just doesn't seem like in these early stages he's one that's going to...
Isa na namang kagulat-gulat na araw sa inyong lahat. Adelaide 36ers needs KAYU SOTTO. Period. Kahit nasabihin ni Coach CJ Broughton na napakalakas ng kanyang 3 big men lineup composed of Daniel Johnson, Cam Roberto, and Isaac Humphries, ay kitang-kita ang kakulangan ng 3 big men sa game nila against Perth Wildcats, na kung saan nahirapan silang tatlo na masustain ang energy towards the end of the third quarter hanggang natapos ang laro. Pero bakit nga ba natin nasabi yan? Well, yan ang pag-uusapan natin in this video at ang highlights ng NBL first regular season game ng Adelaide 36ers versus Perth Wildcats, na kung saan napakatahimik lang ni KAYU SOTTO sa sideline in contrast sa mga nakaraang laro na hyper ang ating idol. Natalo ang Adelaide 36ers sa kanilang first game versus Perth Wildcats. But before that ay meron pa tayong giveaway. There is no doubt napakalakas ng lineup ng Adelaide 36ers, but in their first game sa regular season ay na-expose ang napakaraming butas ng team at isa na rito ang kakulangan sa kanilang rotation ng kanilang big men. It was evident sa system ni Coach CJ Broughton na merong 2 big men parati sa kanyang team sa loob ng basketball court, at dahil napakapangit ng laro ni Isaac Humphries ay dito na-exposed ang kakulangan ng isa pang big man ng Adelaide 36ers. Na towards the end of the game ay mukhang wala ng hangin sina Daniel Johnson at si Cam Roberto sa very fast-paced na laro ng Perth Wildcats led by the fiery guard combination of Vic Law and Bryce Cotton. It was very clear na hindi pa talaga 100% si Isaac Humphries at kitang-kita na wala pa sa timing ang kanyang mga galaw. So instead, by helping the team, Humphries hurt the team more than helping them win. In other words, parang 2 big men lang ang naglalaro para sa Adelaide 36ers, at dahil dito, bumaba ng kanilang energy sa fourth quarter at doon na umalagwa ang Perth Wildcats.